Good afternoon. It is July 27th, 2023, and a wild day today. In the overnight, we had this spike in channel, and I don't have my daily chart up, but let me pause the video. If we look at the daily chart, this started as a really, um, this started as a really bullish bar. Let me just draw that range. This started as a really bullish bar, and so with it being that far from the EMA, it was reasonable to guess, and I did, that we wouldn't be going much higher. I didn't think we would sell off this much, but um, we did, and that further proves this level of resistance up here. So be aware of that. Um, you can see big time rejection right there. So it would not be surprising if we could range, we could go sideways for, months, but it wouldn't be surprising if we went back to the EMA at this point. So anyway, let's see, where does 5 o'clock come? 5 o'clock comes right here. So we're in this spike in channel. If you buy blindly just because this is a good signal bar off of that trend channel and the uptrend is very strong, you would have gotten out by the hair of your chin, because right here it came one tick shy of stopping you out. And that looks like a failure. New low, first entry, failed second entry short. So it's tricky, but that midline's right there. These are dojis. You just have to be careful. So anyways, we come up here and we find our high for the day, and we just go sideways. And oh, you know what? This one, I missed this one. So this is a second entry long, but it was, that's 4 inside bars, so you're taking a chance there. It ends up working out, but then it goes sideways, comes back to the lows, it bounces, and you don't get a chance to enter long there. Find resistance at the highs, and then we just go sideways along the midline. And this is just all sideways stuff until we start this downtrend. And you get confirmation of it right here. It's second entry, but it's not a signal bar, and you'd still be playing the range at this point, so you probably wouldn't want to go short there. And I do believe this is an overshoot. It could not be. It could be that these are the lows, and the overshoot doesn't come until right here. This looks good. Midline looks good there. So this could be it. I'll just leave it there. So we find support down here, and then we just go sideways, and there's no way to enter this. I mean, if you took this as a double test right here, this bar, you would get out. But look, people, let's say you went for 3 points or whatever, they stop you out before it goes right to where you were expecting. So I think if that was off the trend line, I think that would be a good trade. Anyway, we get this overshoot, and then it rockets up. And this is Mac talks about this when there's strong selling, and the strong selling hasn't come in yet. But these rallies in the middle of the strong selling, like this was a little rally. It was only back to the EMA, but then you got this one that wasn't that strong. This one very strong. Those are just something to look out for. But strong buying right here. So just wait for, the trend to start in the opposite direction. So to me, that looks like a break and 2 legs up to a new high, and then it reverses. And there's no way to get in on this. So here we have a second entry after a break of this channel and 2 legs down to a new low off the midline of the highs and lows. I think you might want to risk that. And it's good enough for a scalp, but then we sell off. No way to get short on that because the signal bar is no good. And we're just going sideways. And you get a failed second entry short reversal right here. And I like that setup. Nice bearish bar right there. Probably trapped a lot of shorts. It's good enough for a scalp, but then we find resistance up here. And we come down to these lows again. Now I'm seeing this one, but we made a new low there, so I don't think you can take that. And then it bounces, and this is a higher low, but that's very sideways. So you want to sit tight. And you get this second entry, because you could look at this as a double bottom. Second entry right here definitely traps people. I mean, that's extremely tempting. It probably gets you a scalp. Yeah, so that gets you a scalp. How do I get that? And I mean, I like it. I could see myself taking that in real time. But that's a strong move up, first of all, and that's a new high. So those are ones you got to be careful of. So yeah, we make another leg up, and then we start to go sideways. And this one's pretty tempting. 4 ticks. If we move that down, that looks like a double test. If you don't take that one, which you might, because I mean it looks like a failed break higher too. If you don't take that, you get this super bearish bar right at that price level again, and this looks like a failed breakout. I think here some people probably had their range drawn off this move, and so this is the first failed breakout, comes lower, and then it comes back. You can see that bounces out as support right here. And so therefore we broke above that measure move, and you can see the congestion happening up there. And so yeah, some people saw it that way. I think there's more touches up here, so I left it like this. But anyway, that's a nice bearish bar. I think you might want to take that. And this forms a trend down. So we come down to the lows. That's actually a third entry. Kind of tempting off of that price level, but again, that's a new low. So that's a strong move down. I think you should hold off. Then you get a third entry short right here. That's actually a lower high because the second entry is right here, but we're in a range, and I don't think you can take that, even though that confirms the trend channel. And this is where the move down became really strong. So let's keep looking. Oh, this is a second entry short. So you might take this, but it's a little bit away from the trend line. However, you might have drawn it like this.
Daddy, I got coffee.
All right, so you might have had the trend channel drawn like this because sometimes you want to draw it off that swing high instead of this next bearish bar, and that would take you right here. So you could probably argue for this to be red. That's a super bearish bar. When we come down, we hit that measure, move, and bounce, and then you get a second entry. This time, this would not be as close to that trend channel, but it's off the EMA. So you might want to take that. But we ride that midline down, and that's what makes this aggressive. Ride that midline down, and we can't make it to the lows, so eventually we get a break. That's a hidden second entry with that micro double top, so you might want to take that. And really, I'm seeing now that, oh no, you could probably argue for this to be testing that price level. So oops. And we make a move lower, and we form that price level, pull back, test it once, chop around a little bit, come back, test it again, and you might feel aggressive and want to take that. Nice bearish bar. There's room to these lows, and it goes even further. Big move. And then we get this quick rally. First entry, second entry. Problem is this isn't the high of the swing, but with a bearish bar like that, we've been getting those here, here, here. So you might want to take that if you recognize all that. And then we're coming lower, and I think I got to mark this one because it's also a failed second entry long. Not only is it a second entry short, but it's a failed second entry long. Problem is, it just looks like it looks like a range. It looks like we might start to range, and yeah. So come down, we hit that measured move, which let's see, is just a measure from the midline, and you can see some buying comes in at that price. We get this move up, break, move to a new high. And I mean, if you're feeling really aggressive, maybe you take something like that or this failure. Yeah, you got to mark the failure at least, because that's another one of those super bearish bars. And there's room to this low, and you can feel confident that we'll at least test that price level. And let's see, is that 70.25? Yeah, so that's, you got 7 ticks to that point, so, or something like that. Anyway, we trickle on down. This doesn't feel like it's strong anymore, so I don't think you want to hop in on any of this. And then we get this rally, break, move to a new high, and you could argue for this to be like a double test. I mean, if you move it down, that looks good to me. Super bearish bar, room back to the EMA, and then you get this lower high. I like that one too, to be completely honest. And then you get the failure right here, and there's room to this low, a lot of room to this low. So 64.50, yeah, about 3 points. So I like that. You can see that's pretty much where we bounce. A little bit shy of that, which is kind of surprising, but then we go lower. And you can't take this because, I mean, really, you wouldn't be playing this trend channel at that point. You would just be playing something like that. So yeah, we come down, we just ride this midline, boom, bounce, and some rallying comes in late. So high volume, really wild day, high ATR. So you probably want bigger targets. But a lot of these trades you could argue for. So hope everyone had a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.